Hello guys, welcome to Bosons Botany, and I'm continuing with my second chapter, plant tissue or plant anatomy. So today's topic is plant tissue system or simply the tissue system. So if you follow this video very carefully, the concept of tissue regarding plant will become very clear. So the first subheading is tissues, and the point is group of cells which are structurally, functionally and origin wise are same. So what is a tissue? If you get a question or someone asks you what is a tissue or define tissue, then it's simply nothing but group of cells, a cluster of cells which are structurally, that is, all the cells should be structurally similar. That is, not even a single cell should be different in its shape or structure. For example, if you take a tissue which has many cells, and if you examine all the cells, those cells will have same shape, like circular, polygonal, hexagonal, but not a single cell will have a different shape. So structurally all the cells should be similar, as well as functionally, that is, all the cells forming a tissue, that is a group of cells forming a tissue, those cells should function in the same way, that is functionally similar, and also origin wise. So the mother cell or the group of cells should have arrived from some other type of cell which we consider as mother cell. So that mother cell should be similar for all those cells comprising a group of cells and forming a tissue. So a tissue is basically a group of cells which are structurally, functionally and origin wise same. Now tissue, it is divided into meristemmatic or meristem, permanent and secretory tissues. So there are three main classes of tissues, which are meristemmatic or meristem, permanent and secretory. And very slowly, very systematically, I'll take up all these topics in a very simple way, in a very in a very sequential way. So don't need to get confused, don't need to get worried. Just focus on my video, and easily you can grasp this topic easily. So let's start with the first type of tissue, which is meristemmatic tissue or meristem. So if we discuss the nature of this type of tissue, it is basically capable to show division. Guys, I am very used to this type of abbreviation. I always prefer to use abbreviation. So instead of writing division or divide, I am using the symbol here. So meristemmatic tissues are capable to show division in response to appropriate stimuli. When a meristemmatic tissue is compelled, or it is acted by some external force, and forcing the meristemmatic tissue to divide, then only the cells of meristemmatic tissue will divide. So the cells forming the meristemmatic tissues are capable to show division in response to appropriate stimuli. Composed of immature cells which are in a state of division and growth. So meristemmatic tissue is composed of all the immature cells which are not mature, or which are not precocious. Precocious means not after getting synthesized or after getting formed, these cells are not mature even after a long uh, lifespan. These cells prefer to stay immature, and these cells which are immature in nature are in a state of continuous division and growth. So I have marked these words here, like immature cells, division, growth. These words are very important. No intercellular spaces are present. I use ICS in space of instead of intercellular spaces. So no intercellular spaces are found in these cells. So if you notice here, if you consider this as a meristematic tissue and these are the cells forming this meristematic tissue, you can notice that there are no space or no gaps here. The cells are tightly packed, compactly arranged without any intercellular spaces. And these cells could be polygonal in shape, oval in shape, or rounded in shape. So it doesn't matter what type of shape you are taking into consideration, but the shapes should be similar, throughout. Like here I have drawn all the cells oval. You could have drawn them polygonal or rounded. So I have drawn the cells here as oval in shape. So no matter what type of shape you are taking into consideration, but all the cells should have similar type of structure, as I have already mentioned in my first point. Now these cells should be living. I think you have heard about dead cells, living cells. For example, if you take sclerenchyma, it is a dead cell. Why dead? Because it has got thick wall. The walls surrounding the cell are very thick due to certain type of depositions, and therefore sclerenchyma is functionally inactive. But these cells forming a meristematic tissue, these cells are living in nature, thin walled. This is very important criteria for a cell to be living. So meristematic tissues or meristematic tissue consist of those cells which are living. And why living? Because they have thin walled cells. Cells have abundant cytoplasm and one or more nuclei. So what is a cytoplasm? A material or protoplasm within a cell or living cell excluding the nucleus. So if you notice here, I have drawn a very bad diagram, but just to make you clear about this, if you consider this portion here, or consider a cell out of this group, this is a cell. There are many cytoplasm, as you can see black dots here. There are many cytoplasm and a single nucleus, but here it is written one or more nuclei. So it doesn't matter how much or how many nucleus are there, but a living cell should always have cytoplasm and nuclei. Cytoplasm is never ever present in dead cells. For example, in sclerenchyma you cannot find cytoplasm because sclerenchyma is a dead tissue or dead cell. So cytoplasm is a material or protoplasm within a living cell excluding the nucleus. What is a protoplasm? It is basically, you can correlate this with cytoplasm, or protoplasm is nothing but transparent material, transparent ground substance, liquid or semi solid type of material inside a living cell comprising of all the organelles. So cytoplasm or protoplasm, whatever you write, it is basically present in all living cells excluding the nucleus. May or may not have vacuoles. So vacuole is a very important part in every plant cell. So as we are discussing plant cell, so this type of tissue, that is meristematic tissue, may or may not have vacuoles. So it is not necessary to have vacuoles. The next point is plastids present as as proplastids. What are plastids? These are special type of organelles found in only plant cells, and these type of organelles, which are known as plastids, are meant to store certain type of pigments like chlorophyll, carotenoids, xanthophyll. So plastids are present as proplastid, that is immature form of plastids are present, which are known as proplastids. Have very high metabolic rate. These two arrows pointing upward, basically telling you high metabolic rate. Why high metabolic rate? Because the cells are living and thin walled cells are present. So it is very obvious that the cells are very high in their metabolic rate, show very high activity, capable to divide very fast, capable to grow very fast, and altogether we say having very high metabolic rate. Found in those regions where active cell division occur. So these type of tissues, or this type of tissue, is basically found in those regions of plants which show active cell divisions. For example, I have written some specific regions here, like apices or tip of all main and lateral shoots and roots. So tip of all the main and lateral shoots and roots have meristematic tissue or meristem, showing high metabolic rate and growth and division. In my next video, I will classify meristem. Thank you.